Hi friends, welcome to English Study Point. Today in this video lecture I am going to discuss theory of translation in comparative literature. Translation theory emerged as a distinct field of study during the 20th century with the help of its scholars. This particular theory sought to understand the complexities of transferring meaning from one language to another with the help of translation. This theory in a way became a separate area of study in this particular century, means 20th century, and this theory aims to explore the challenges which is involved in conveying meaning accurately from one language to another. Translation theory has its root in ancient civilizations. At that time, people felt need to translate texts from one language to another due to trade, cultural exchanges, and religious interactions. The study of translation gained prominence during the Renaissance with the revival of classical literature. So, this theory originates from ancient civilization when there was a growing demand to translate texts for purposes such as trade, cultural exchanges, and religious interactions. And this field gained importance during the Renaissance period, particularly with a renewed interest in classical literature. Here let's understand definition of translation theory. Translation theory refers to study and analysis of the principles, methods, challenges of translating text from one language to another while preserving meaning and cultural nuances or ideas. It seeks to understand the processes involved in bridging linguistic and cultural gaps between source and target languages. This means that such kind of theory involves examining how texts can be effectively translated from one language to another while maintaining their original meaning and cultural ideas or messages. And also, it aims to comprehend the strategies used to overcome linguistic and cultural differences between the source and target language. Let's understand characteristic features of translation theory. This theory in comparative literature takes an interdisciplinary approach integrating insights from various fields to analyze translations. This means that this particular theory first of all uses an interdisciplinary strategy by incorporating perspectives from different fields to study and evaluate translations. It emphasizes the importance of capturing cultural nuances and context specific elements in translated works. This means that this theory focuses on accurately conveying cultural connotations and elements specific to a particular context when transferring a work into another language. So this process of translation in a way ensures accuracy in conveying the message and nuances. Nuances means cultural nuances, ideas, or messages of the original language. It focuses on detailed textual analysis to evaluate the effectiveness of translations in conveying original meanings. So, this theory, in a way, strives to maintain the meaning and style of the original text in the translation. It values historical context and socio-political factors which influence translation and its impact on comparative literature. Such theory considers or gives value utmost importance to historical, social, and political factors of the source text to convey its deeper meanings accurately. Here we see that translation ensures fidelity to the original text, transparency in translation choices, and power dynamics between source and target languages. We see that fidelity in a way means that it tries to balance faithfulness to the original text and also readability in the target language to ensure effective communication. Translation have a dynamic nature and subject to interpretation. Subject to open interpretation, influenced by the translator's perspective and the target audience. This means that this process is dynamic and open to various kinds of interpretations, as it is shaped by the translator's perspective and the intended audience for the translated work. In the process of translation, a translator, being aware of the cultural differences between languages and started adapting the translation to ensure cultural relevance and authenticity. So during this process of translation, it becomes very crucial for translators to recognize and account for cultural disparities between languages by adjusting the translation to maintain cultural authenticity as well as relevance. Adapting the translation to suit the linguistic norms, stylistic conventions, and literary traditions of the target language and culture. So, this process, in a way, means translators are able to modify translations to align with linguistic norms, stylistic conventions, and literary traditions of the target language and culture to ensure that the text resonates effectively with the audience. So here you get to understand this point, means this process of translation helps in adapting the translation to suit linguistic norms, stylistic conventions, and literary traditions of the target language and culture. Another point is this process of translation acknowledges that not all text can be translated directly and that some concepts may require creative solutions to be conveyed effectively. This means that translation very well recognizes that direct translation is not always feasible, as certain concepts may require or may necessitate creative approaches to effectively convey the intended meaning from one language to another. It recognizes the influence of previous translations and intertextual references in shaping the translation process and outcomes. This means that translation acknowledges the impact of prior translations and intertextual references on shaping the process and results of a translation, which in a way highlights the importance of understanding and building upon existing translated works. It demonstrates proficiency in both source and target language to ensure accuracy and fluency in the translation. This means that this translation showcases skill in both the source and target languages to guarantee the precision and smoothness in conveying the intended meaning effectively. It maintains the literary style, tone, and register of the original text to preserve author's voice and intended effect. This translation focuses on upholding the literary style, tone, and register of the original text to maintain the author's voice and intended impact, and also at the same time, it ensures that the essence of the work remains authentic, means reliable in the translated version. Translation considers the communicative purpose of the text and adapting translation to suit target audience and their expectations. So, this means that translation takes into account the intended purpose of the text and adjusts the translation to align with the preferences and expectations of the target audience, ensuring effective communication as well as engagement. It upholds ethical standards in translation, including respect for the author's original work, avoiding distortion, and ensuring transparency in translation process. What this particular line means is that translation adheres to ethical principles by respecting the integrity of the original author's work and also avoids misrepresentation and maintain transparency throughout the translation process. It harnesses creativity in finding linguistic and cultural solutions to convey the essence of the original text in the translation. This means that translation involves creatively utilizing linguistic as well as cultural strategies to capture the essence of the original text in the translation, which showcases innovative approaches to effectively convey the intended meaning. It recognizes that translations are received differently by diverse audiences, and that the reception of a translation can vary based on cultural factors. So this process of translation acknowledges that diverse audience may interpret translation differently due to varying cultural backgrounds, and also emphasizes the importance of considering cultural factors that can influence the reception and understanding of a translated text. Translations influence the inclusion of works in literary canons, shaping the reception and recognition of authors across cultures. Translation theory in comparative literature examines how translations affect the reception and interpretation of texts in different cultural contexts. So we get to know that this process play a significant role in determining which works are included in literary canons, and also impacts the recognition and reception of authors across various cultures. And also this theory, translation theory in comparative literature, delves into how translations influence how texts are received and interpreted in diverse cultural settings. Translation theory in comparative literature engages with postcolonial theories to explore power dynamics, representation, and decolonization in translation. This means that this theory incorporates, first of all, post colonial theories, this sort of theory to analyze power structures, representation, and processes of decolonization within translations. And this with the help of this process called translation, these authors may shed light on how these factors impact cross cultural communication as well as understanding. Translations can amplify, means it can double marginalized voices and perspectives, challenging dominant narratives and in comparative literature. So this process also have the potential to amplify, or to double, or to increase the voices and perspectives of marginalized individuals and communities, and also it try to dismantle or disrupt dominant narratives in comparative literature, and fosters a more inclusive and diverse literary landscape. Translation theory reflects on the role of translations in fostering global literary exchange, diversity, and understanding. Translation contributes to a cosmopolitan literary culture, transcending linguistic boundaries and fostering dialogue between diverse cultural traditions. So, this theory considers how translations promote global literary exchange, diversity, and mutual understanding, and also translations facilitate a cosmopolitan literary culture by bridging linguistic divides and encouraging dialogue among diverse cultural backgrounds, enriching the literary landscape. Translation theory incorporates digital tools and technologies to enhance translation processes, improve accuracy, and facilitate cross cultural communication. So this theory in a way integrates these kind of digital tools and technologies to streamline translation workflows, enhance precision, and support effective cross cultural communication. And by leveraging these tools, translators can optimize their processes and deliver high quality translations that cater to diverse audiences. Here we end up reaching to a conclusion. Translation theory serves as a foundation for comparative literature by enabling the exploration and analysis of literary texts across languages and cultures. This means that such theory forms the basis for comparative literature by providing the framework for studying and interpreting literary texts across different languages and cultures. It offers a methodological approach for analyzing the complexities of translated works and understanding the interplay between language and cultures in a comparative context. We see complexity and depth of the translation process, emphasizing the importance of linguistic accuracy, cultural sensitivity, adaptability, and creativity in producing successful translation. This particular thing underscores that this process of translation have a kind of intricate and multifaceted nature, which in a way highlights the significance of linguistic precision, cultural awareness, flexibility, and innovative thinking in crafting effective and impactful translation. And also, we need diverse kind of skills and considerations to be involved in producing effective translation which capture the essence of the original text while resonating with the target audience. Comparative literature continues to evolve in a globalized world. This translation theory remains essential in facilitating cross-cultural dialogue, understanding and appreciation of diverse literary traditions. We infer from this point is that this comparative literature adapts, or it allows to the to this changing global landscape, this possibility of translation theory. And here, under this comparative literature, translation plays, or this theory plays a very crucial role in enabling cross cultural dialogues, promoting mutual comprehension, and fostering appreciation for the richness and diversity of literary traditions worldwide. So, this theory serves as a key tool in transcending linguistic and cultural barriers and facilitating meaningful exchanges and deeper connections among diverse literary works and audiences. Then with this video lecture ends here. Hope this video lecture will help you in your exams. Thank you.